So Trump is going over there to remind people that he is going to redirect America's feet to the Sunni side of the street. I shouldn't have said that. That was terrible. But if you just look at his speech for a minute, what you see was that he was trying to reestablish, right? It wasn't, I don't think it was a great speech. It wasn't a tear down that wall speech. He was just trying to reestablish that we are going to be in alliance with Saudi Arabia. And everybody said all this stuff. I was watching the commentary on the right. The commentary on the left was, well, okay, it wasn't as bad as his campaigns. His campaign was all, I hate Muslims. But now at least he didn't say that, blah, 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 blah. But on the right, it was, well, he said it's not a clash of civilizations, but it is a clash of civilizations. It is a clash. But of course it's a clash of civilizations, and of course it's about religion. But what do we gain by going over and saying that? Because the thing about a clash of cultures is it's not going to end with one of our cultures disappearing. Okay, it's not going to end with Dresden in ruins and the Nazis surrendering, and all this stuff. That's not what's going to happen. You will know who wins this clash. I'll tell you how you'll know, okay? When rich guys in Silicon Valley start saying, I've become a Muslim recently. I really find that Islam is, I'm not a radical Islam. When guys like Mark Zuckerberg start becoming Muslim, you'll know we lost. Okay. When women in Saudi Arabia can wear skirts, you'll know we've won, and that's how this works. So a lot of this has to do with persuasion. And what Trump did was he essentially sought to isolate the terrorists within the context of there being Islamic terrorists. He called them, he said he didn't, they said he didn't mean to say Islamic extremists. He meant to say Islamist extremists, but he said Islamic extremists. And this is, let me talk about how he talked about it. Play cut number 4.
That means honestly confronting the crisis of Islamic extremism and the Islamicists and Islamic terror of all kinds. We must stop what they're doing to inspire, because they do nothing to inspire but kill. And we are having a very profound effect if you look at what's happened recently. And it means standing together against the murder of innocent Muslims, the oppression of women, the persecution of Jews, and the slaughter of Christians. Religious leaders must make this absolutely clear. Barbarism will deliver you no glory. Piety to evil will bring you no dignity. If you choose the path of terror, your life will be empty, your life will be brief, and your soul will be fully condemned.
I'm sorry, but that is good stuff to me, because what he is saying is, they're funding in Saudi Arabia to keep the fat cats in power and keep the people quiet. They funded these Wahhabi mosques that preach this nonsense to people. And he is saying, no, you have got to stop. You've got to start preaching that this is not part of our religion. To go over there, to want him to go over there and say, we have to wipe Islam off the face of the earth, it's just not realistic. It's silly. But he did isolate that this was Islam extremists. He essentially said this is a problem in the House of Islam. Now, I've always said there are two possibilities of that Islam extremism is either a natural outgrowth from Islam itself, or it's a cancer on Islam. It's one of the other. I'd like to hear it debated by experts. My instinct is, because every Islamic country is oppressive, every single one tends toward tyranny. My instinct is that it may in fact be a natural outgrowth out of the Quran, but I won't say it. I think there's still an open question. I'd like to hear it debated. That's my instinct. But I don't want him to go over and say that. I don't think that accomplishes what he needs to accomplish. I think he needs to reestablish our relationship with Saudi Arabia, that we're going to have to get together and work on this, and we expect to see this from him. Trump is a natural isolationist. He wants to stay out of foreign wars, which is an old conservative principle, the way conservatives used to be before neoconservatism. And I think he is willing to stay with that as long as that's a realistic thing. I want to talk a little bit more about this, but first,